What is up, everybody? Right, guys. Welcome to Fatherhood for the Rest of Us. This is Monday morning. I'm shooting a quick one. Monday morning. The date is 6/12. We're coming up on fatherhood, Father's Day, and man, I can just tell you, like this past year has been one heck of a journey. Um, I got kind of deep into not necessarily even just personal development, but professional development, uh, reading a ton. Up until this past year, I probably hadn't finished a book outside of a couple of the Game of Thrones books in about 5 years. 5 years to read, and all I read was it is a great book, right? Great book. I love the book, but I didn't. Did it add anything to my noggin that I could take forward and really use it in my life in a way that just you know had meaning, was meaningful. I don't think so. So I started last year on this journey. I'd read a couple of books. I read one of the books was Zig Ziglar's Secret of the Close, which I had it, and I picked it up because I was getting interested in selling, and that's really what it really wasn't what it was about. I mean, yeah, it was about yes, it was about selling. It was about telling stories and it wasn't he wasn't even, if I recall correctly, teaching to tell stories, but he was teaching just about selling was a service. The person that you were was part of that sales process. And in there, so I read that book, and then I started listening to some audio, and I found him on Google Play. He had some audio, and I listened to him there. And in there, he on some of his motivational stuff, he talks about um, how most people after college don't read a book with any meaning or with any educational value uh, after high school or after college, after a second. And so he said, he goes, if you read, maybe 20 minutes a day on average, you could read 20 books, 200-page books in a year. Imagine if after 4 or 5 years you continue to do that and nobody else is. Where does that put you in your field? Where does that just put you? And so I made it. You can go over. It's not super lively right now, but you can go over to BrandonHandley.live and see kind of where I took that. Where I took it was I just started reading. I started tracking. I did a couple synopsises. I did several actually. I did several videos and audios of the book reviews that I've read. And got a little. I changed trajectory in the middle of it, but that's okay. And so you know, um, I've come a long ways in that past year. And this past weekend went up to Cincinnati, and with Sam Crowley from Everyday Saturday had an event for. He just had an event up there that really taught a lot of value, what you could, how you could try and sell on the internet, and it wasn't even just selling on the internet. It wasn't even just how you could sell. There was another gentleman there, Gabe Strom, who works. Uh, he works with Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, I believe, a little bit more of it, more than that. But the big takeaway from him was it doesn't have to necessarily even be your idea in order for you to add value to that person and find a great life. So I mean, what if there's somebody out there that you love and you love what they're doing, and you can get behind what they're doing, and you see that you see that they could take it to the next level somehow, and you have the capability to take them there. Reach out to them. Reach out to them. Take them there. Help them. At least offer. Say, hey man, look, I see what you're doing. Here's a couple pieces of here's kind of what I do, and I see what you're doing here. If you try this and tweak it just a little bit like this, you'll get like 1% here or 2% here, increase in whatever. I don't know anybody out there who's busting tail that doesn't want to increase their own value somehow. There was another gentleman there, Alex. I'm going to butcher your last name. I'm just going to say Alex G. He loves the ClickFunnels, and he reached out to Sam Crowley and said, "Hey man, here's something I love to do, and I would love to, let's work together. I think I can really help you." And that's his thing, and it's amazing because you can do some of these things that you love and help other people grow. Help other people grow. Not and it doesn't have to be in a grow your mind. It doesn't have to be in a grow your strength. It doesn't have to be in a you just help them grow somehow. Help them grow. That's it, man. And help them grow by doing something you love. And I was floored, right? And so there's a room full of, I'd say around 40 people, right? And just mind share, intimate in the sense of, everybody would tell their story and they weren't afraid. Nobody was being judged, and that was great. And so we would hang out after, go up to the bar, and for me, my story is, over this past year, I've been coming along, I've been growing, but as we go up to the bar, I'm like, I'm not drinking, and I've been feeling kind of uncomfortable with that. Even recently, I tell you, a couple weeks back, I went up to go visit my work team in Jersey from North Carolina, and I had only not been drinking for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and we all went to the bar and hanging out, and 16 of us or so hanging out, and they're all drinking, and it's not that I don't want to drink or didn't want. I didn't want to drink, and it was really hard for me to say. It was hard for me to just say it. To just say, because this group was so used to seeing me come up and drink, get drunk, have a blasky, right? Act like a fool, and just that was kind of my MO, and nobody else put that on me. That's the only reason they even had those expectations was because of myself. So listen, but you know what? So I did not drink while I was up there, and it was kind of cool that it just. Well, I said, like, it felt a little uncomfortable because that was not my comfort zone, which is funny, right? Saying I don't drink, not being my comfort zone, but I said I don't drink. I'm not drinking right now. I've got this event coming up, and so flash forward to this past weekend up in Cincinnati and being around everybody, and it was easier because these people had never seen me before. And it was easier to not drink. It's just simply because I didn't have any expectations of what their expectations were of me, right? So it's really all on me. But got up there, and first of all, there's just an amazing collection of people with stories that everybody's out there seeking to help others grow in some way, and so we're all sitting there talking, and I'm just going to relay a part of it to me. I just felt great. A, because I haven't been drinking. B, because I didn't drink. Some more, like I'm still not drinking, so I feel great because of that, and the acceptance that I got from this group, and my ability to be. Man, listen, I was the guy who, if I'd already had several beers at this group, I was already being that guy. It was funny because we on the last night, went to go leave, and here I am. I'm just like, you know how it is. You got that one guy that or girl that just has to talk to everybody for 20 minutes before they leave the bar. Well, I was that guy sober, and I just laughed. I was like, and I left with Jeremy Todd. Shout out to the positive side. We went out and got some food. I looked over. I was like, man, imagine if I was drinking, dude. We would have never left. We would have never left, man. So look, I just it's a kind of a story of growth, right? And it's not like it's not like probably a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I said, look, man, it's not like this is my. I'm showing my cell phone case here, which is cracked and fractured, from just like a couple months ago when I'm acting like a fool, up at the neighbor's house, good friends, and having one too many on a Saturday, eating food and just everybody hanging out, and I put my phone up and hanging on standing on their couch, put my hand up in the air like I'm some sort of frat boy. Fan hits the phone, drops down on the floor, kaboom. Phone stayed alive. Thanks OtterBox. Um, but listen, that's not who I want to be anymore. That's doesn't serve me in a number of ways. It's not who I want my kids to see. It's not who I want my boys to see. It's not who I want my close friends to see anymore. I just it's not doing me any good. With this podcast, with everything that's going on, and what I'm doing here, these all these steps that I'm taking forward, making, growing. That's an obstacle. That's something that's been in my way. That's something I've either got to get around, throw behind me. That is something that's been getting in my way. Now listen, I would do things. I would do things like research. I would do things like research. I would literally go on Google because it was bothering me in the back of my head this past year. It was really getting on my nerves because I'd be like, man, what? I was like, what famous people? Google, what famous people? What successful people have been drunks? Because I'm like, man, maybe I can still drink a lot or too much or drink and have it all. Um, I did. I Googled it, and Winston Churchill was one. I think Sherman's March, General Sherman. He was another. There was a couple other. Ernest Hemingway, but his end was no good, so I certainly was not going to model him. And it just turns out that for me to be who I want to be the father I want to be the man I want to be the person I want to be the neighbor I want to be. It's not. It's got to go for me. So that's a little story about kind of my past year. Little story about getting up and being around these amazing people, sharing those stories, being around like-minded people, and Sam Crowley. What a great event, Karen, Alex. Lori Mercer. Shout out to Lori Mercer, guys. If there's some women out there that, and not just women, but who could use a role model, I would say I would reach out to Karen. Karen, offhand, I don't have your. I'll talk about you again. I know I will because you were also amazing. Karen's also a great female role model. Lori Mercer's got a site called How She Quits. Zach Crawford was up there, but Lori Mercer, for females out there, Lori Mercer, who go to her site, she's got an amazing story as well, and she's also got an amazing service. I told my wife, I was like, look, reach out to them and see what's going on, and hey, look, I'll call her. Let's call Lori, and we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, I was so excited and by what she's doing and her story that I had to share her name too. So man, a lot of great forward progress. I really want to kind of let you guys know where I am in my headspace, what's been going on. I hadn't really been talking about the drinking or anything like that, just because hey, who wants to sit there and say, who's gonna jump on here and say, man, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but to me, it didn't make sense for me to try and tell you or say, what a great person I feel like I've become over these years when I've got like this amazing obstacle that's in my way and I can't get over it. But I had to, so I wanted to let you guys know, kind of full circle about that. But it's really hard to talk about that and say it is a little difficult. So there's that. Done. Great. Upcoming, guys. I mean, what an amazing week we've got coming here. Tonight, even, I'm going to be doing a podcast with the first product that I've, that's been on the show outside of some books. There is going to be, it's called Radbox. I'm going to be talking to them, the founders, tonight about how they started up, why they started up, and I want to share their story and their product. It's very, very cool. It's it's for dads and children. It's on a subscription basis, and they've got like some what looks to be some very cool curated products. I don't know their whole story. I know parts of their story, so I want to talk to them and find out how they did it and what they're doing. And they're gonna be on the show. The father and the mother. So I'm super excited. But if you get to go check it out before we talk tonight. I don't think it's going to be Facebook Live. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. I think I did it. I'm just going to, it's going to be a podcast. It'll come out tonight. I'll release it tonight right after I do it. But check them out, radbox.com. Is it radbox.com? I don't know. Raddadbox. Check it out. I'll have all the details later. I did Facebook Jason McKenzie Live last week. I will have and then if you want to go check that out, you can find it on Facebook under my videos. However, I will be releasing that on audio this week on the podcast. Interviewing Mark LeMaster Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. I am going to Asheville this week to run. No, I'm not running, to be a part of a duathlon. I was going to do triathlon. I just don't feel like running this time. I know. Feels kind of. I think I might throw it back in. I'm just like, running hurts, man. It just doesn't feel good. But I am going to do the ride, and I'm going to swim in the Biltmore Lake. And this shirt I had created for that event. And it's funny. That's first time I should have worn it up there. Went up to Cincy. Didn't. Forgot. But Fatherhood for the Rest of Us, I do have some clothing available on Shopify. And Fatherhood for the Rest of Us is there. And this hashtag front row is for Jon Vroman's Front Row Foundation. I want to bring a little bit of awareness to what he is doing. Again, I was really grateful for him being on the podcast, given the support that he's given. In making the introductions and being genuine. This guy, man, top notch, Jon Vroman. You are you're an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration, I know, to a lot of others out there too. And I wanted to show and share some thanks by saying, hey, look, go hashtag front row. Check out the Front Row Foundation. See what he is doing. See what they are doing. It's a group of people. It's a bit of a movement as well. And so I had these shirts made to represent that, to show that I stand behind something else. And so I'm gonna wear this while I'm doing the bike ride out there in Asheville, and I'll be walking around in Asheville. The boys have a shirt. Meg's gonna have one. Just kind of it's fun, man. But if anybody wants to show some support, you can grab one out there too. Fatherhood for the Rest of Us shirts, or a couple of Fatherhood for Front Row shirts. Excuse me. I will donate proceeds. I will donate a portion of the proceeds from those to the Front Row Foundation as well. I think they're on my Shopify. If they're not, guys, look, I'm still trying to figure it all out. But go to the site at Fatherhood for the Rest of Us.com, and there should be a drop down box for shopping, and that should be in there. And that's it, man. Guys, have a great rest of the Monday. Do something awesome for your dads. check out my site, fatherhoodfortherestofus.com. Get the free ebook if you haven't. $10 value. I'm gonna have to take it down at some point and start charging for it. But go check it out. Reach out to me. Love to hear kind of what you're up to. Tell me what you got going on for Father's Day. Facebook group. I'm gonna start just doing the Facebook Lives just inside of there here shortly. There's gonna be a lot of value in there too. Gonna be a lot more engagement in there. Where I want to reach out to you guys too. Tell me what some of your stumbling blocks are. Fatherhood, life in general. We'll see. We'll make it a group. It's closed, so you can feel safe inside there. Get over there and join up on the Fatherhood for the Rest of Us Facebook group. And that is it. Oh no! Look, haha! Just kidding. You can probably just click it and end here because right now I'm gonna give the iTunes plug. But hey, I would love it if this is reaching to you, talking to you on any level. Please run over to iTunes, give the show a 5-star rating, and that is going to help others like yourself who are finding something from this to find the show, right? It just helps us rise in the rankings. I would appreciate it. The person who finds the show because of you is going to appreciate it. I want to put that out there. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. We've got a lot going on this week. Tune in for it all. Tune in for it all. Talk to you guys later.